la ciencia.
Hello, world. What's up, guys? This is Dave Van Auken with the Fight Bananas podcast. How's everyone doing out there? All right, guys, another strong show for you today. You like how I did that? Phil Daru, strength and performance, the coach, the strength coach for American Top Team, Coconut Creek, Florida. Man, love this guy. He's a great follow on Instagram. Phil is an unbelievable follow, so give him some love. Daru Strong on the IG. Make sure you follow him. Great IG stories with all the fighters and all the things he's doing, all of his videos, his YouTube channel, a lot of great content coming out of Phil Daru. So, guys, and for one, we got a lot of Q&As, and I love that. You guys came through strong, the Fight Bananas community. I put it on my personal page at David Van Auken. Spell it correctly, and also the Fight Bananas official page, and boom, you guys came in strong. A lot of Q&As, so we're going to talk to Phil. We got some questions for him, then we'll have the floor for all you fans out there. Make sure you subscribe to our Fight Bananas YouTube channel, iHeartRadio, every podcast platform in the biz. All right, guys, let's go bananas with Phil Daru. All right, guys, on the Fight Bananas hotline, ATT Strength and Performance Coach Phil Daru. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well. This is one of my off days, I would say, but not truly an off day. It's never really an off day, like in my business and way of life. So there you go.
There you go. Definitely, we'll start there. First of all, I don't know if you saw it. I put it on my personal Instagram and the Fight Bananas official Instagram, sending Q&As, and it was awesome, man. The Fight Bananas community, they came in strong, around 20, 25 questions. I took around like 8. Some of them, they were asking your favorite color, favorite movie. I took some of those out, but I got 8 good ones. Some of them are funny, but it'll be fun. We'll definitely have a good time with it. Let's start there. It's an off day for you. What is an off day in Phil Daru's life?
Well, as of right now, I'm actually programming. So I'm writing out different types of methodologies, programs. Obviously, we got Joanna Jacek. She's starting up camp. So I actually just finished up with her overall 4-week mesocycle right now, going into the first phase of camp. And then I'm actually getting ready for Dustin to start up doing some off-camp stuff. So got a bunch of guys starting their camp. So I do that primarily, and then just running errands, and I have 2 gyms that I own up north, a little bit further north from American Top Team. So I go back and forth there, check out what's going on out there, make sure everybody's doing well, and then I get my own training in, believe it or not. And
right. I'm
kind of struggling right now. I got an ACL tear that just happened 2 weeks ago.
Right. So I saw that, man. How you doing with that?
Good. So I just put together a solid pre-operation prehab type deal. Just working on just strength and structural integrity, and just building up the muscle surrounding that area, so that when I do have the operation, I'll be able to bounce back a lot more efficiently and faster. So that's the key goal.
Right. Man, I love your mentality to the game. It's unreal. I've heard a couple of your podcasts. I watch your shows on YouTube. Great stuff. Make sure you subscribe. Phil Daru on YouTube. I definitely gave you a shout out on the IG page. Great page. Your stories are always awesome. You got some of the best fighters in the world, day in and day out. It's a great page. But I love some of the things you talked about was, you love communicating with your fighters. Hey, where are you at right now? You got to be honest with me. If I'm pushing your body to the limit and you're just not ready for it, or how was practice? How was Steve Mako in the wrestling camp today? I love how you communicate with them and say, hey, you got to be real. There's nothing more important than your body in the mixed martial art game. I just love your mentality to the fighters about you got to be honest with them straight up.
Yeah, I think that comes from me being a fighter as well and being around it for such a long time. I started doing mixed martial arts with Dean Thomas back when I was about 19, 20 years old. So I got to really get the feel of what a true fighter goes through on a daily basis, because I was one. And then from there, I can connect with these individuals because we have similar mindsets, and that just comes from the competitive drive that they have. So with that, I like to obviously, get that connection with them so that we have a better overall understanding, and then that we can increase the performance, but also just have trust and accountability for that trust. So whenever I tell them what they need to do, they're not just, thinking that I'm just telling them that because that's what I think they need or whatever the case. I know that that's what they need, and that's why they work with me. So
Right. You just said that you started 19, Dean Thomas. Were you around American Top Team, and did you have that culture what they have right now when you were at 19, 20 years old when you were fighting?
Yeah. So I grew up down there, so in Broward County where Coconut Creek was. So when I started going around there to the gym, I was probably like 16, 17 years old, and I would do some boxing classes and things like that. And I was primarily more focused on football, American football. So after I got done with that, I played, collegiate football for Alabama State University. And then after that, I found that Dean actually had a school up where my family moved to in Port St. Lucie. So it was about 90 minutes north. And I was like, man, that's perfect, because I still wanted to compete. I still wanted to fight. I still wanted to do something competitive, right? I still wanted to be athletic still and keep it going there. So when I started, right around about 20, 21 years old, we used to take the trips down to Coconut Creek and do some sparring there, and actually watching these guys and watching like Hector Lombard and a lot of, and Thiago Silva and Thiago Alves, back in their heyday, in their prime. It was truly remarkable to see, and it was definitely a tight family. And now it's great that I'm still with them, and it's still about that same atmosphere,
right?
That family oriented feel. And now I'm doing it as a coach, so I'm blessed.
Absolutely, my man. And the whole mixed martial arts community is blessed. You just said some names. 10, 12 years ago, there was a UFC once a quarter, only on pay-per-view. Now it's every weekend, ESPN Plus, Reebok. The deals are better. Yeah. They got sponsorships galore. We got people traveling across the world. We got our boy Jorge Masvidal going to Australia, sponsorship deals, helping animals. It's just the MMA community is just it's beyond blessed. It's unbelievable right now, especially down there at ATT. I don't know if you know, I've talked to probably 15. I actually just got off with Mike Beast Boy Davis yesterday, and the momentum that American Top Team Coconut Creek had in 2019 is just unmatched. It's just it's bananas. Joanna, Amanda, Georgie, everyone else in between, and there's so many. That's another question I got for you later on. All the young ups, but. How can you keep that unbelievable momentum from 2019 to 2020? What's that secret sauce that you guys got to keep this train rolling?
I mean, we just got to stay consistent. I think that we have the athletes, obviously. You see they come in each and every day, and new athletes just keep coming in. But along the lines, like you said before, we have these up-and-comers, these homegrown guys that are so talented and so focused and so hungry, and they're sparring with the likes of Edson Barbosa and Dustin Poirier on a daily basis, and it's good to see them actually make that come up. And I'm very excited for the future, but also I'm excited for the present as of right now. We have Ioane and Jacek fighting for another world title. We have, like Masvidal is coming up. I think that, he's due for a title shot, in my opinion. Even Dustin's at his prime, at his peak right now. So with that being said, and Amanda's the best fighter in the world. You know what I mean? So with that, we are truly on top, in my opinion, but there's so much more to go. That we have a laundry list of backups, in our B squad. In a lot of ways, I don't like to say that, but what they would say our B squad is other people's like superstars in other gyms. You know what I mean?
No, and this is the C squad, the next level. It's unbelievable, and I want to hear that. Like we said, Daru Strong on the IG. Your stories are unbelievable. We just saw one a couple of days ago. Kayla Haracha, Charles Rosa was great. Can you throw out a fighter or two that's maybe on the come up? Maybe an amateur about to be pro, or even a pro. I know Chase Batwell's down there, a 2-0 pro, doing his thing. There's just so many. I love Joan Porta. Joan Porta's a machine.
I think that's a good one to talk about. That kid actually is going to be really good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he already has a title. But I think that obviously he's not in the bigger promotions, but he deserves to be. He is one of the guys that will be up there. We have Sidney Outlaw, who fights for Bellator now, but again, he had a rough fight his last fight. Fought a short notice fight against Michael Chandler. Those are guys, and he's helped Masvidal, and he's helped Dustin Poirier get ready for both those fights that they've had. We got Jordan Young, another Bellator guy, but super young still. He's still like 24 years old, 23 years old. Wow. There's a lot of guys there. So, but Juan Puerta, the guy that hasn't really broken through the main promotions, he's definitely going to be somebody for everybody to, look at.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. He's been on the show multiple times. Love that kid. He's just the endless potential. I love that.
And a good individual too. Like,
yes, sir.
A super nice kid.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Kind of a question that I thought of right before we got on was, have you ever talked to a fighter one-on-one, or have you ever went to like management or someone there, maybe like Lambert or Matt Brown, and say, guys, maybe we should not take this fight, or maybe we should get out of this fight, drop it down. I know, let me just throw out a name. Let's just throw out Sid Outlaw. Love the man Sid Outlaw, right? And I know where he's been for the last 6 months. Something's off. He's just not there, whatever it is, time in. Maybe he's sick, a lot of stuff. We talked to Mike Davis, had the MRSA issue. Not a lot of people knew about it, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many behind-the-scenes stuff that you see on the daily. You're with them. Your body doesn't lie, right? We say stuff, but your body, what you do, does not lie. Have you ever went to the fighter, man or woman, and say, hey, guys, maybe we should skip this one, guys. Let's get out of it. We're not right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a very delicate subject, for a lot of fighters, because they don't want to pull out of fights, and these guys are elite, so every fight that they take ultimately can set them up for life.
Right.
So with that, we all collectively have to look at it as a coaching staff and actually see, okay, is this appropriate for the time being? And, at the end of the day, the fighter's going to do what they feel is necessary and what they want to do. We can only give them our opinion in a way. And then from there, it's up to them. Once the cage closes, then it's all on them at that point. Again, we can give them our professional opinion and then see what happens after that. There's been plenty of times where, like King Mo the Wall, like I didn't want him to fight plenty of times just due to injuries that this guy's had over the years. You know what I mean? But he's a warrior. He's a true fighter. And he's a competitor, so he wants to get out there and prove himself no matter what the circumstances. So with that being said, there's been plenty of times where I was like, I really don't like that fight, but I'm going to ride with you because you're going to go in it. So I'm not going to just be like, nah, I'm not going to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm going to give him my best opportunity for you to be successful and give you what I have to offer. So
Right.
That's it.
What has been your absolute proudest moment as a coach?
Watching, really I don't have a proudest moment. Every day that I see my athletes grow and evolve as an athlete, not just as a fighter, because what I do with them from my perspective is try to get them to be better movers, get them to be stronger, faster, more powerful, that can transfer over into the sport. So when I see true progression on a daily basis, that's a proud moment for me. When Dustin won that interim title, that was one of my proudest moments for sure. When it comes down to MMA strength and conditioning, I train other athletes. I train, judo practitioners, judo Olympians, professional boxers. I even have Jack Crawford plays for the Atlanta Falcons. So these are little moments there that I see are proud moments for me when I see them, be successful in their field of practice. But yeah, like the proudest moment would be just to see them progress on an each and daily basis.
Right. Oh man, that's awesome, my man. Like I told you, we got a lot of Q&As from the fans, so I definitely will jump into there in a second. Some of them are awesome. I love it. But real quick, right before we get into that, UFC 246 next Saturday night, Cowboy versus Conor. Real quick, who wins that fight? Main event.
That's a tough one. I definitely want to go with. People are probably going to say something, but I definitely want to go with Conor because I think that just in general, Conor needs this in order for him to stay relevant, obviously, right?
I said the same thing, Phil. I said the same thing. I'm telling you, nothing. I know this sounds crazy. Nothing to do with the cage. He needs this fight for the next one. He needs this for everything after. You know what I mean? I'm so with you on that.
Unfortunately, a lot of the MMA now and a lot of the general fans, they only know certain people. And one of those people is going to be Conor McGregor. So if he's successful, then more fans are going to be watching fights again. And that's going to help the entire UFC, but not only UFC, but MMA in general. So
right. And
we kind of need him as a community of fighters to almost win, in my opinion. But I mean, Cowboy is such a talent, bro, and he's actually, and he deserves a win. He deserves this fight, and he deserves to beat Conor. But for me, I just don't see Conor losing again in this degree. If he does, then it's probably over for him, in my opinion. But you never know.
Right, and of course, everyone down there, there's already talks of it. We would love this Conor Georgie summer blockbuster, probably the biggest fight in the sport of mixed martial arts history. Georgie Masvidal, Conor McGregor. So
that's so crazy to think, because Jorge's been in it for so long. I think it was like 2006 or 2000, I don't know, somewhere around there. I was still in high school when he was fighting, and he was doing the backyard fights and things like that. Yeah. And George's been around ATT forever. It's really good to see him, get the recognition he deserves. But it's so funny to me now. People are looking at him as a superstar, but we've known him now. He's kind of just he's our hometown guy.
Right.
He's a Miami guy. So for us, it's like, man, this is great. He's a homegrown guy. That's perfect.
For sure. And I would feel like for you, someone like you and the grind and all the work, you would love that even more than the next guy, just because you see all the work he does, years and on years and on years of training, getting better, grinding, and now he is the absolute biggest star in the game. Like, he wasn't on a come up, no silver spoon, no 3-fight knock. You know what I mean? Like, he's the biggest name in mixed martial arts in 2020. It's bananas.
Yeah, that's crazy to think, man. But it's cool. It's a great thing to
love him.
To
I love
see.
me some Georgie Masvidal. All right, so here we go. Like I said, I got 8. Some of them are real funny. They'll be quick. Some of them you can elaborate in whatever you want. But love our Fight Bananas community. All right, the first one, pretty easy, goes, Phil, how did you get the job at American Top Team?
Like I said, I've been around ATT for like 10 years. I was going back and forth doing, sparring and going there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sparring at night, and getting to know the guys, getting to know Conan, getting to know Laborio, getting to know the upper management. And so it was easy for me to kind of go in there and at least, I wouldn't say easy, but it was a better opportunity for me than somebody else just stepping from just the outside, right? So I remember what happened was I ended up actually retiring from the sport at 26 due to concussions just built up from football and then again and from my fighting career. But I had nothing really to do, and I stayed away from the sport for about a year. And I had my gym up here, and I had some free time, and I actually asked Dean, I said, if you have anybody that you want me to work with, I have some time on my hands now. I'll be down to work with them. And he's like, well, you may be in luck because the old strength and conditioning coach is actually leaving. So if you can get your resume, come on, bring it down today. And I was like, I can get it in 5 minutes. So I drove down there, 90-minute drive. First day, I stood in for the strength and conditioning coach because he was actually out for that week. So the first day I trained Dustin, I trained Tisha Torres, Hector Lombard, King Mola Wall, and Dia Davis. And they liked the training. Obviously, I was a little bit different, with my methodologies in training and the way I go about training. So they were like, oh, okay, this is kind of different, but I like it. And they kept me around for a good month and a half, maybe 2 months before I got paid. And I was there just grinding away, going down there. Luckily, I have a great support system. My wife, she's amazing. She was like, definitely go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? And even though I had 2 gyms up here, 2 businesses that I was running, I knew that was the spot that I needed to be at, because that was my home for a while as a fighter.
Right.
So eventually, they were like, talk to Conan. He was like, you're the best fit for the job. We want you here. So that's when I started. That was 4 years ago.
Wow, man. Nothing more important in life than timing. Sometimes it's right. It's right.
For sure.
Kind of funny, you mentioned something in that in that answer about the second question right here. They asked, would you ever fight again?
Yeah, I don't, I don't think it's in my plan. You know what I mean? I think everybody has a plan, and I don't think it's there for me anymore. Obviously, I want to compete. I want to do, things in that nature. I want to test myself, but when it comes down to it, I don't think it's worth the risk in a way. I'm making good amount of money doing what I do now, and coaching and coaching coaches is what I do primarily. Do seminars and teach around the world, and don't get me wrong, I still compete. I'll do grappling tournaments. That's how I messed up my knee, But yeah, I don't think for me, my first pro fight I made $200, and I think I spent that on the way back going home. Right. And I actually fought a good guy. It was Kurt Hollabaugh for my first pro debut, and it was in Louisiana, and I was the main event, believe it or not. you know. But again, it just is what it is at this point. Like it's more important for me to do what I do as a coach, you know, and watching these guys fight, and I can take it from there, you know. But again, I'll still compete. I'll still be athletic. I still want to test myself, but just not going to do it in a cage, you know.
Right. And you can always put on the gear and Mike Davis 15 minutes after the practice, and best man wins.
Mike Davis is dangerous, man. I seen firsthand, you know. But I definitely get in there. I'll get in there and I'll do some sparring. I'll roll with the guys, you know. I mean, I'm in shape. It's not like I won't be able to, but you know. But hold on 1 second, Leo, come on, buddy. Daddy's working. Come on. My son, he's playing.
It's all good, brother. All good. This is one of my the best ones. I love this one, and especially we had King Mo on the show before, so this is perfect. It goes, Phil, will you ever team up with King Mo in a professional wrestling match?
You know what? He actually texted me.
No way.
Well, he texted me and Mo texted me and he goes, Coach, we should do a tag team matchup. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, I don't even know what he's talking about. And he, no, we can do like wrestling. And I'm like, what do you mean, like you mean like freestyle wrestling? He's like, no, like WWE style. And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, but I was like, I wrapped my head around. I was like, that could actually be kind of cool and actually be pretty fun to do. And I'm down for it. I'm down. Whoever wants to teach me, you know, how to you know, throw some elbows and hit the turns and do the tumbles. I'm down for that. I like it. You know, so we can make it happen.
Hulk Hogan, The Rock, John Cena, Phil Daru. Come on now. They get paid pretty well.
That's it, man.
Yeah, that's funny. Number 4, probably one you get a lot, I would assume. What's your favorite cheat meal?
If I would have to say, it really depends on what it is. Like a cheat meal for me would be like a higher calorie meal. So maybe anything from like a bacon burger, has to have bacon on it, right? Or some sushi, and it has to be, you know, have some type of yum sauce or some type of fry ordeal going on there too as well. Cause it has to be, you know, somewhat of a cheat meal, quote unquote, right?
Right. This is a good one too. Pound for pound, who's the best fighter alive today?
Pound for pound. Are we talking MMA? Are we talking boxing? Or are we just fighting in general?
Yeah, they didn't say, but let's go MMA. Go MMA.
You know what? Pound for pound, that's a tough one. That's very tough. But I would have to say right now, people are probably going to hate me for this one, but John Jones, in my opinion.
Right.
You know.
I got John Jones and Amanda Nunes, 1 and 1A.
True. Yeah, definitely. I can't leave out Amanda. You know, and even though Demetrius Johnson lost, I still feel like he's up there too as well.
Right.
You know.
Right. Oh, an all-timer. It goes, Phil, what's your least favorite exercise to do?
Usually the least favorite exercise is the one you suck at. So right now, it would be anything that has to do with like my knee having to bend. So anything like a squat, even though squats were my best thing, right now I would say a squat.
Squat. Wow. 2 left, 2 good ones too. It goes, in 2030, where will Phil Daru be?
2030? Probably traveling the world, teaching my methods, teaching other coaches, then also sitting on an island with my wife and just basking in the glow of this Miami sun. Man,
that's a good life right there. That's it. That's the dream. Last one. This is a good one. At American Top Team, if all the coaches had a fight tournament, who would come out on top?
Oh, come on now.
I'm telling you, man, these questions came in strong.
Well, Mike Brown is obviously he still got it. I think Mike Brown still got it. He can still fight if he really wanted to. Dean, he can still do something too. But you also have like Pitbull that still is a coach.
Right.
But he still fights actively, you know. I'm not going back down. I know that.
Yeah, King Mo, and no one wants to get in there with Mako. Come on now, if he gets a hold.
And and I forgot about him too. That's a whole nother headache. You know what? I don't know. It'd be tough.
That would be right.
Tough. And then you got Conan. Conan will probably just choke somebody. You know, he's like 7 foot tall. So
you got Billy Patton with the jabs.
I have to say this before we go on to another one.
Yes, sir.
I don't dislike the squat. So I don't want people, he needs to squat or he doesn't do leg day. Trust me. If you look at my hamstrings, I squat, and I can squat over 600 pounds. So don't neglect that. I just want you to know that.
There you go.
Right now, it's the squat, but usually it would probably be like an overhead press. So boom. Just want to make sure we clarify that.
Absolutely, my man. Phil, let me give you this time, promote away your YouTube channel, methods, any website, darustrong.com, right? Any of that, shout it out. I'll give you the floor, and take it away, my man.
Yeah, just anything you want to find out about me, you can go to darustrong.com. You can check out my YouTube channel, Phil Daru Strong. Also, my Instagram is @DaruStrong, so it's very simple. Get me on Twitter, too. I do a lot of write-ups on Twitter and post a lot of articles there, too, as well. So Twitter is the same thing, Daru Strong. And then also, if you want to check out any of my programs, it's on the website. And also, if you're a coach looking to get mentored and do a coaching course with me, that's also available as well.
Absolutely, my man. It's so funny you said that about Twitter. Like, some people like the UFC Fight Pass, they're like, oh, wow, the Instagram is great. That's strong. You guys doing great on there. But you got to beef up your Twitter. I'm like, I neglect it. It's like the stepchild. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know about it. Yeah. I'm like, I got to give it some more love. You're right on that.
Yeah, it's like the water cooler of like social media. You know what I mean? Like, so we get on there and at times, I think that for you it'd be perfect, but for me, it's kind of just like posting articles and posting up videos and stuff like that that I kind of already do on Instagram, but still really good to have because some people aren't on Instagram like that. They use Twitter as their platform. Right,
absolutely. Phil, man, always appreciate your time. Continued success. 2020 is huge for the American Top Team and yourself. We'll get back on it. We'll talk very soon, my man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Later, brother.
All right.
Wow, guys, what a great show. I'm telling you, that was one of my favorites, and a big part of it, of course, was Phil, but another big part of it was you guys. You guys were coming in so strong. Some of the questions were fantastic, really funny, very great, timely. I loved them. So, guys, keep it going. Fight Bananas community, thank you so much. Fight Bananas official on Instagram. That's where you guys slide into those DMs. Also, my personal, @DavidVanAuken. But guys, 2020, Phil Daru, I'm telling you, DaruStrong.com, check him out. Definitely. He's going to be a future superstar. Not even, he is a superstar already in the strength and coaching game. But man, on the mic, he's unreal. I think he's just terrific. If he, I can see him commentating or interviews or just being like a side reporter for UFC, like a huge future. I think there's endless possibilities. Like how Dean Thomas does a lot of commentary for Island Fights for UFC Fight Pass. I can see Phil doing that. I love him. Great future. Thank him so much for coming on. Show him a lot of love. Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff, all right? Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Fight Bananas podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iHeartRadio and the YouTube channel. iHeartRadio, man, the numbers are up. We're loving it. And, man, give our sponsors all the love. You know that, WarhammerFightwear.com. Talking about N-Still Nutrition, Mako Tech Mouthguards, Space Coast Botanicals, and always Fusion CBD products. You put in that code FIGHT2020. That's FIGHT2020. 10% off everything on the site. There you go. Guys, continue success. Absolutely. Stay bananas. We'll get back at you in a second.